Hello and welcome back to Wrongmar. In today's SPHE lesson, we're going to be taking a second look at water in our world. Our goal for today is to consider some of the reasons why water is scarce in different countries. Here in Ireland, we're pretty fortunate. Nearly everybody has got some way of getting safe, clean drinking water. If you were thirsty right now, you could go to the tap, pour yourself a glass, or you might have a jug already in the fridge waiting for you. Worst case scenario, you could walk to the local shop and get a bottle of water, even though we saw in the last lesson why that might not be the best idea. The thing is, not everyone is as lucky as you. Not everyone has easy access to water. 1 in 9 people in the world don't have any access to clean, safe water in or anywhere near their home. 31% of schools in the world don't have clean water in them. And remember, clean water isn't just for drinking. Think of the toilets and the sinks as well. Can you imagine what life would be like without clean, safe running water in your home? What do you use clean water for? Pause the video and see if you can come up with a couple of things you need clean water for. Well, a few things we use clean water for are cooking, washing clothes, washing ourselves, and going to the toilet. Just imagine for a moment if the water you were using for these things was unsafe, dirty, and unsanitary. Think of what the toilets would be like, what washing would be like, and what cooking and drinking would be like. So you might be thinking to yourself, why is water so hard to find in these other places? Pause the video and see if you can come up with an answer for this. So maybe you thought, well, maybe it doesn't rain much there. Maybe they have a lot of droughts. And although this is the case in a few places around the world, many more places do actually have enough water for the people living there. But the water is just not safe or easy for them to use. Where in the world do you think we would find some countries where the water is not safe and is not clean to use? Pause the video and write down a few answers. A lot of the countries where clean, safe water is scarce are found in Africa, just south of the Sahara Desert. Fewer than 1 in 5 people have access to safe, clean water in all of these countries: Nigeria, Tanzania, Benin, Chad, Sierra Leone, Togo, and Ghana. However, water scarcity is far from an African problem. There are countries all over the world, in every single continent, that have issues with clean, safe water. And the reasons are many. Let's take a look at some of the main reasons why clean, safe water is very difficult to find around the world. One of the issues that cause water scarcity are money issues. Many parts of Africa, Asia, and even Australia simply don't have enough money to spend on making water safe and clean. Sometimes there's problems with building pipes to the places where the people need it. And sometimes people living in poorer places just can't afford to build safe wells or toilets and washing facilities. Very often they rely on the work of charities. Another reason water might be scarce in some places is because of industry. Every single thing we use, wear, or eat needs a lot of water to make it. Here's some figures that might make you wonder. 1 kilogram of beef takes 15,000 litres of water to produce. And if you're vegetarian, 1 kilogram of cotton takes 10,000 litres to produce. Some areas in India suffer water shortages because the production of stuff like cotton is so intensive and it uses so much of the clean water. In a previous SPHE lesson, we talked about cotton, and we talked about how it uses lots of fresh water to make sure the cotton plants stay alive, especially during hot summers. We also talked about pesticides, those poisonous chemicals that are sprayed on the plants to keep them healthy. Well, sometimes those poisonous, dangerous chemicals mix in with the fresh water supply. This contaminates or poisons the fresh water supply that the people around there are using for things like cooking and drinking. Another reason why water might be difficult to find is if you're living in a conflict zone. In Syria, Lots of families have been pushed out of their houses because of the war. They have to live in areas that have been badly damaged by the fighting, usually bombed. As you can imagine, when the bombs fall, they damage the pipes and water supply of the area. This can make it extremely difficult to find clean water. But make no mistake, water scarcity is not just a problem in poorer countries. Big Western companies, like drinks companies, use huge amounts of water to produce the soft drinks that we love, and sometimes this can cause massive problems. In many parts of the world where there had previously been plenty of fresh water, it's slowly running out because of the amount being used by drinks companies. In 2018, in Cape Town in South Africa, there was a big water shortage. It became so bad that people's home supplies completely ran out, and they had to queue for hours to collect fresh water. But here's the kicker. At the same time, Coca-Cola was drawing more than 1.5 million litres of water from the city supply every day to make Coke and other soft drinks, including bottled water, which they then sold back to the people living in Cape Town. So you can see that there's lots of different reasons why water might be hard to find, from the small villages in Africa to the big cities in the United States. Clean, safe water is getting more and more difficult to find. To finish off, we're going to take a look at one town. The town of Flint, in Michigan, the United States of America. Let's be honest, when I asked you earlier on to write down the countries where you think water is hard to find, America probably wasn't one of them. But Flint has got one of the most poisonous and unclean water supplies in the world. In the town of Flint, Michigan, the government wanted to save a bit of money. So they made a very bad choice and tried to save money by cutting back on looking after the city's water supply. As a result, the water became contaminated with lead. This happened in 2014, and still the people of Flint have to buy expensive bottled water to live. The crazy thing is, they still have to pay for the city water supply too, even though they can't use it. This is what the tap water in Flint looks like. And the story takes an even darker turn. Nestle, the big, massive international company, make bottled water in an area quite close to Flint, where the water is safe. They draw millions and millions of litres of clean water from the springs every week, and they only pay a few $100s a year to the government for permission. Then they sell the water for thousands of times more back to the people in Flint. What do you think about the story of Flint? Do you think Nestle should be allowed to sell their water? They are a private company after all. You can let me know down in the comments what you think should be done in Flint. So our wall for today was to consider some reasons why water is scarce in different countries around the world. We took a look at a few of the different reasons. We took a look at the role that money plays in it, the role that industry plays, the role that war and conflict play, and the role that big companies like Coca-Cola play. When you're ready, you can try the practice activities down below to keep on learning about this topic. That's all we have time for this week. Until next time, take care.